At my house, you spoke 6 languages fluently, or you didn't speak at all. When I was 8 and accidentally used a French word when I was supposed to be speaking Spanish, my mom slapped me across the face so hard I fell off my chair. You see, neither of my parents spoke anything except English, but they were both completely obsessed with this idea that multilingual people were superior, and that they'd ruined their own lives by only knowing one language. They'd watch videos of people switching between languages, and mom would literally cry about how beautiful it was and how stupid she felt. Dad would get drunk and rant about how if he'd learned languages as a kid, he could have been someone important instead of working at a warehouse. So when my older sister Louise was born, they decided their kids would be different. Every day of the week was assigned a different language, and we had to only speak that language all day long. Monday was French, Tuesday was German, Wednesday was Mandarin, Thursday was Arabic, Friday was Russian, Saturday was Japanese, Sunday was review day where we practiced all of them. If you accidentally spoke English or mixed up languages, you got punished immediately. It was either no dinner, locked in your room for hours, or sometimes mom would make you write lines in the language you messed up. We had tutors coming to the house every single day after school. My parents couldn't understand anything the tutors were teaching us, but they'd sit there watching us like hawks to make sure we looked like we were learning. My brother Wyatt was 11 and already having panic attacks before his lessons because the tutors would report to our parents if we weren't progressing fast enough. Mom and dad would record us and send the videos to distant relatives and post them online like, "Look at our genius children." If anyone complimented our language skills, they would act like they'd personally accomplished something amazing, even though they couldn't understand a word we were saying. When I turned 13, mom and dad sat me down and told me I had exactly 2 years to become fluent in all 6 languages. Or they were sending me to a boarding school in Europe that specialized in intensive language learning. They showed me the brochure and it looked like a prison. Kids in uniform sitting in silent classrooms with no phone calls home and no visits for the first year. Dad said, "We've already contacted them and they're expecting you unless you prove you can do this." I was already studying like 4 hours a day after school, and I was exhausted all the time. My grades in regular school were tanking because I was too tired to focus on anything except languages. Wyatt was falling apart too, and he'd started having nightmares about the tutors. One day I just snapped. During my Mandarin lesson, I started making up complete gibberish that sounded vaguely like Mandarin, and told the tutor I'd been practicing with some advanced materials. The tutor looked confused and asked me to repeat myself. I just kept going with the fake language, stringing together sounds that meant nothing. When my parents asked how the lesson went, the tutor said I'd been speaking something he didn't recognize. I told my parents it was a regional dialect I'd learned from videos online, and that the tutor clearly wasn't educated enough to understand it. For like 2 weeks I got away with it. I'd just speak nonsense during my lessons and tell my parents the tutors weren't qualified to test me properly. Wyatt caught on and started doing it too. We were finally getting some relief. Then mom and dad brought in experts. Real linguistics professors from the university who spoke all 6 languages fluently. They tested us for hours and figured out immediately that we'd been faking. When the experts told my parents we'd been speaking gibberish, Dad went absolutely insane. He grabbed all our language books and threw them at us one by one. Mom was screaming about how embarrassed she was and how we'd made them look like fools. They grounded us for 2 months and doubled our study time.